We
You
did
think
it in
because
91, we'll do it again in 2023.
you think because some of the guys probably had a lot more mortgage business than they were used to, so they weren't taking the same amount of time explaining everything, to the clients, right? So someone would come in and say, well, we can't get the A lender, so we're going to go to B, or we're going to go to some other alternative lender and try to be able to make this work. And there just wasn't any real careful explanation, right? I feel like that should be part of the mortgage professional's job, right? Is to really explain this and say, hey, by the way, at the end of this year, okay, this is what you're going to need to do to renew. And if this doesn't happen, or if this does happen, this is the position you're going to be. How are you going to deal with that? Right.
Well, listen, it's no secret you could become a mortgage broker by fogging a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when you have an easy barrier to entry, you're going to get some slugs, right? And I can't tell you how many folks have gotten investment properties and taken variable mortgages and are now surprised that they're cash flow negative.
Yeah.
Right. So like that is a real problem when you have both a novice finding the financing, a realtor selling them something that's cash flow positive because you can only pay 1.5%, and letting that investor believe that that's going to last forever. Mm-hmm. Right. So when you put, like I said earlier, you put that cocktail together, it's just a fucking disaster. Right. When you know your rent is limited on how much it could go up, why would you be in a variable mortgage on a rental property at the bottom of the market? And you have an opportunity to lock in
as a buy and hold.
279.
TikTok, burr.
And listen, I get heat from realtors on this. I've talked about it many times on my show, and some people want to debate with me.
Let's go.
Right, and it's like, are you serious? Like, this is crazy.
It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Hey,
like,
tell me
if it's a qualification issue where you're trying to get under that threshold to qualify, you can lock in the next fucking day. Right? It's free to lock into a fixed rate when you're in a variable. Nobody did it.
That's crazy that nobody did that.
Right? And these static payments, listen, I'm on record. I think it's the worst fucking product in the history of mortgages. And OSFI was asleep at the switch on that. Right? Mm-hmm. As soon as rates started moving up, and they knew the Bank of Canada dropped artificially 150 basis points in March. There was exposure there. Significant exposure. You're trying to cap all these amortizations at 30 years or whatever the fuck they call it at. Why would you know that the amortization is going to go beyond that cap when rates rise in a static payment environment?
Yeah.
At least with the Scotiabank crowd, they're getting a notification every time Bank of Canada goes up. Hey, your payment's going up. Here's a letter in the mail. What do you want to do? Mm-hmm. Right. And then they call me, Vince, my payment went up. What should I do? Well, I could lock in. Do you want to lock in?
Yeah.
You want to stay the course, or you can increase your payment to the lock-in number and accelerate repayment. What do you think?
When rates are going up and everybody's talking about rates going up, why the hell didn't everybody just lock in instantly?
It's a delusion of
what
rates
though?
Going back down. It was
down further?
This won't go up any further than what they did, or it might go up a little bit, but you know what? It'll just end up going back down again. So I'll just hang on tight.
But everybody should have realized it was going to go up to at least 395. Right? Back to where it started prior to COVID, right? Like that 150 basis points, you had to assume it was going to get back to that level at the very least.
I think you're giving people too much credit.
Yeah, not overnight.
You're giving people too much credit that they would be able to, their broker should have explained that to them for sure.
And this is why I question, why would you deal with a novice? Why would you deal with a rookie?
Yeah.
Because he's on TikTok.
Nice? No, yeah. He's nice and they wear nice clothes.
Bro, he's in the mortgage business. That really guy was wearing a
Rolex and he was driving a Rolls and he was like in these beautiful places on TikTok. Like I fell for it, man. Don't you get it? But this is what's happening. You have uneducated people coming for the dream, getting here. The dream is fucked and looking for the easiest way to get out of the Uber, right? The easiest way to get out of washing the dishes. And these are engineers. These are like people with doctorates. Like these are serious people that can't use their abilities here. They came here for a dream, and it's a disaster for them, right?
But now
It's
it's
not,
reality.
Now it's
life's not
reality.
easy, man.
Yeah.
And everybody wants everything now. No one wants to be patient. Everybody wants to, live it up. They want their forever home right now. And it's going to end badly for a lot of them that are over leveraged.
Yeah. And they can't handle the success. That's what I've noticed the most in the last couple of years is the people who made more money spent just as much money extra that year. So like, I had my best year ever. And then they increased all their living expenses. Like I always thought that was like, some people are like that, but it's most people are like that, as they made more money, as their business did better, as whatever, they just started buying stuff because they're like, now I can afford it. And they started dressing nicer and driving nicer cars and all this kind of stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm in the real estate world, so obviously I see this more often than most places, but it's like the biggest recipe for disaster ever, because
Big
changing that
checks.
lifestyle when your income has gone back down to where it normally was is very difficult, especially when you got a monthly payment on a 5-year term.
And let's be very clear. Like social media has changed the game, right? Like it's all about flash. It's all about instant gratification. I've seen it firsthand with my son. He's an influencer. He's the one who kind of pushed me into social media when I didn't even know what it was.